is, what should you do before entering a vehicle? I need all of you to go ahead and put your answers in. What should you do before entering a vehicle? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep it going. What should you do before entering a vehicle? All of you need to put your answers in. This is a great review. The correct answer is B. You want to do your pre-entry checks. This pre-entry checks. This could be you walking from left to right or right to left. Is anything leaking on the ground? Are your tires okay? Is your windshield broken? Is your stereo gone? Right? Are there animals hiding under the car? You've got to have your routine. You can't just go out to a car and jump in. You got to know what's going on. Are there footprints in the snow? Does someone put dog poop on the ground and you're going to step in it and drag it in your car? Because some of you have crazy friends like that, right? They'll do random stuff. Or they'll put something on your door handle. So you have to know what's going on. The second question, when walking towards a vehicle parked on a two-way street, remember, these are thinking questions. They're preparing you for the test. How should you approach it? Please go ahead and put your answer in. The correct answer here is B. You want to walk around the front. You never turn your back to oncoming traffic. You will get hit. You could get hit. Early in the morning, it's dark. People don't see you. You're probably saying, bro, they're gonna stop. No, they're not. It's early in the morning. People are sleep driving. Your neighbor could run you over. The school bus will run you over because they don't see you until it's too late. So you always have to be that defensive-minded pedestrian, driver entering the car. You don't want to get your door knocked off. Don't assume people see you. Assume they don't see you. Next, which of the following is not, and the key word is not, part of a pre-driving procedure? So this is very similar to number one, but it's a little bit different. Which one is not? So you're looking for the one that does not belong. And the correct one here is D. Which one does not belong? And eating food. It's called dashboard dining. You got to adjust your seats and mirror. You have to lock your doors. And you need to check your blind spots before you pull off. Well, Mark, this is definitely going to help you. All you got to do is listen and pay attention and put your questions in. And then I can talk to you as we go along. Give it a thumbs up and keep going. Okay, let's go into the next. Which of the following is a correct action for checking blind spots? Correct action. Put your answer in. The correct one is C. Here's why. You have to look over your shoulder. If you're going to the left, you look over your left shoulder. If you're going to the right, you look over your right shoulder. But I'm talking to beginning drivers, whether you're teens, someone in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, beginning drivers look over their wrong shoulder. And if you look over your wrong shoulder, you're going to hit a car. And then someone's going to honk their horn. Now you're going to be nervous. So you have to look over your correct shoulder, but beginning drivers look over the wrong shoulder. If you have a nervous mother, an angry father, they're going to scream at you. Then, Christina, yes, go ahead.
My stuff must not be in order. Or did you skip a question?
Blah, 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 blah.
Did you do
I don't know. I'm just going to go along with it. I'll read the question. Yours could be out of order. All of them could be out of order. I can only put in a group of maybe 900 characters at a time.
I don't want to put the wrong answer when you ask the question. I can't keep going up to check.
Well, Christina, do your best. That's what I can tell you. I don't have to do this for you guys. I want to do it for you guys. Is it perfect? No. But what I'm trying to do is give you a preparation for your test. So try to do your best, and I'll go over the answer and explain it. So it's a win-win. Got it, Christina? Okay, I want you to pass your test. And usually kids who miss 2 or 3 or 4 days fail the test. I'm telling you the odds that you'll face. I always speak truth. I won't lie to you. That's what a good instructor does. They're always honest with you. Okay, so before you start your car, and I'm not going to read every single one. You're adults, okay? Before you start your car, you want to make sure of certain things. And then, like I said, I'm going to follow. I want to ask all of you, is your order out of hers like Christina? If it is, give me a thumbs up. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Before you start your car, you should, and it is A, you want to check your seats and mirror and put on your seatbelt. A lot of beginners forget to put on their seatbelt. They forget to adjust their mirror. If your mirror adjustment is off, you won't see a car to your left or to your right or behind you. And now you're kind of driving blind from your blind spots on the left and right. No pun intended. Let's keep going. This has a lot of pre-entry check procedures. So I can't tell you the resources, but for this particular segment, you have 3 or 4 questions or pre-entry checks. So based on these questions, that's a really important thing that beginning drivers need to know. I'm trying to help you prepare, right? A pre-entry check involves, and this is for number 7, and it is B, and I'll explain it too. You want to check in for obstructions or damage around the vehicle. You remember when I said when you get up in the morning, go out to your car, are your windows broke? Is your headlight broken? Is there oil leaking? Is your battery pack from your electric car, is there acid leaking on the ground? Do you have a flat tire? Does someone put something on the ground? Is an animal hiding? Okay, so you got to be aware of that and really know what's going on. Next, number 8, which of the following does not help you stay safe while driving? Which of the following does not help you stay safe while driving? This is number 8. Go ahead, put your answer in. Which of the following with driving? It is C, reclining your seat too far. That's not going to help you stay safe. You won't be able to really accurately see the road. A lot of people lay their seat way back. You really can't see your blind spots to your left and right. You really can't see in front of you. So you're kind of limiting your see. And if you can't see, you're going to crash into a car, you're going to back into something, or you won't be able to really see what's happening ahead of you. So you got to have your seat tilted a little bit, like at a 45-degree angle, but also you want to be able to have good vision, and that's really important. Now we're on signs, signals, and traffic laws. So what I've done, and your test won't do that, it won't group them by category. I'm trying to give you a pathway, a digital study guide, because I do more than what's expected of me. And this will help some of you. Okay, so number 9, we're talking about signs, signals, and traffic laws. What does a solid yellow line on your side of the road mean? You should be able to tell me that. It should stick out right in front of you, a solid double line. What's up, Jay? We're here balling out, going over some actual test questions. This will help you. Listen, give it a thumbs up. Jay, I really appreciate you. And I'm blessed to have you really come in and support me, okay? Like, I go live as much as I can, and you're going to learn a lot, Jay, so I got you. I'll be working on that Google number soon, so be patient with me. Okay, so solid double yellow line. The correct answer is C. Passing is not allowed. If you have a solid double yellow line on your side, you cannot pass. If you don't understand this early on when you learn how to drive through your driving instructor, to your mom or dad, you're going to make an improper lane change and get hit, or you will hit someone and then it'll be your fault. So you have to know what a solid double yellow line means and a broken yellow line on your side. Next, we're talking about a flashing red traffic light. All of you should be able to tell me what this means, a flashing red traffic light. The correct answer for flashing red traffic light is B, you have to stop. A lot of beginning drivers don't know what this means, and they go through. And if you don't stop and hit someone, it's your fault. A lot of beginning drivers see a flashing yellow light, they stop in the middle of the street, and we get rear-ended because they think the light's going to change. then that's your fault. I don't want to get rear-ended by another driver. I do not want us to run a light and get hit. So you need to understand what that means. I think you need to just set up your home so it's comfortable. You need to have your furniture set so in case you fall, you need to have a phone available. Um, and we'll talk about that. You asked some great questions, and I'll give you information as to go along. You got to live independently. If you can take care of yourself and eat and get out and ask for help, then you need to go ahead and do that. I will help you. Next, when must you turn off your headlights? They're asking you. You're driving. Excuse me. When must you turn on your headlights? So this question force you to think about all the driver's education knowledge. When must you turn on your headlights? A lot of cars have automatic daytime running lights now. So for that one, you should put in your answer, and that is D. Hold on, turn on. Yes, when must you turn your headlights? And it is D, all the above. At dusk and dawn, when it gets dark, and when it becomes morning. And then when visibility is below 500 feet, you need to be able to be seen and see. You need to be able to have your headlights on in bad weather, rain, snow, fog, and then all the above. So you could get a ticket for not having your running lights on or headlights on. Police will pull you over for occasional traffic violations. And if you're one of those kids who have a burned out headlight or tail light and you're speeding and a cracked windshield, they're probably going to pull you over. If you're one of those adults, I don't have money to get my headlight fixed, you're going to get pulled over. So don't invite the police pulling you over. Just have your car prepped, have your car ready. What is the maximum speed limit in the school zone unless otherwise posted? All of you go to school. You should know that. You're not college. You're not 25. Your life revolves around going to school, doing your homework, being at school on time, and coming home and going to your school lunch. So all of you should get this right. The correct answer here, typing in, is B, unless otherwise posted. 15 is too slow. In this particular test, 25 is too fast and 30 is too fast. So there's certain questions you have to know. And if you don't study, you're going to be panicking right now and you're like, I'm so overwhelmed. But you don't have to do that. Look, Jay, my father had a disability. Okay? I'll tell you more when we talk in person. It didn't stop him, and this was over 20 years ago. We didn't have the technology we have today. He still drove. He did have hand controls in his car, Jay. So that's what you don't know, right? And a hand control may be good for you, and I don't know how severe your cerebral palsy is, but he had a hand control in his car. And they're pretty easy to use once you learn how. I was able to drive his car sometimes when he couldn't drive. So we'll talk more about that in a minute. Okay, let's keep going. Now we're talking about signs. What does a diamond-shaped road sign indicate? You got to know signs by their color and shape. If you know signs by your color and shape, then you're going to make really silly, dumb mistakes and get a ticket, go the wrong way, go off the road. So if you can't read or don't understand signs and shapes and colors, you're going to end up killing yourself or going off the road or really making bad mistakes. I mean, I'm just keeping it really simple and honest, and I'm glad I'm like that. So the next one, that's 13. Put your answer in. It is B. Okay. A diamond shape is B. They are warning signs or caution signs. Slippery when wet, going over curve, sharp curve ahead. So you will have some signs on your test no matter where you live, Mississippi, Texas, Florida. You will have signs on the test. That's a part of any test. What's going on? How you doing? We're going over the knowledge test. Ask me any question you want, driver's ed related. We're going over a practice test. Put those questions in. Next, when approaching a stop sign, you must. Now remember, if you get into a lazy habit of not stopping, you're going to get a ticket eventually. Eventually, a police car will be sitting there and you're going to get a ticket for silliness. I've never had a ticket for that particular violation. Being a good driver. And if your mom and dad blow stop signs and yield signs, you're going to blow stop signs and yield signs. The problem is you're a young driver and you're going to be on probation. And if you get tickets early on, the state could take your license. And if you get enough of those, you won't have a license. So you have to be extra good. Okay, so you're approaching the stop sign. What must you do? That is B. I need you to put it in. Stop fully, not a rolling stop. Stop for a minimum of 3 seconds. Who does that? Good drivers. No one does that. Well, do it in front of the police. Oh, I'm not stupid. Well, you don't stop any other time. So if you do it subconsciously, you're going to see a stop sign and you just won't stop. But then you realize, oh man, I just got a ticket. And it's going to happen. Okay? The police are not looking to cause a problem, but you are the problem because you learn bad habits from your parents, because your parents are the first teachers, not me. I'm going to say stop completely for 3 seconds. I'm going to say yield, look left and right. It all goes back to being in a hurry. If you're in a hurry to go somewhere, you're not going to stop. You won't yield. You're going to blow yellow lights. You're going to blow red lights. You're going to cut across the gap really quick. And if you start getting comfortable with that, eventually you will get hit, Nolan. So you have to decide really, do I want to drive good and do the small things to become a good driver? Learn how to drive as an adult, please, when you are finished with the class. No rush. You can still apply some of these, Jay. You listen, and I'll speak from an adult perspective too. And that's good, Jay. I love the questions. Keep me going. All right, let's keep going. So what does a green, this is number 16, what does a green arrow signal at a traffic light mean? First, we know green means go. You have an arrow. Is the arrow going straight? Is the arrow going right? Is the arrow going left? If you don't know and you go straight and there's no road, you're going to go off the road. So you really got to analyze, because if you get comfortable driving in one area, you're going to drive like it's in one area. So number 16, put your answer in. The correct answer is B, right? Proceed in the direction of the arrow after yielding to pedestrians and vehicles. People will always walk in front of you. Cars will always walk in front of you. Any intersection is a potential hazard point or contact point for pedestrians, contact point for bikers. So if you get comfortable not really looking, you just ran over a biker. Right cross. The left hook is when you don't look all the way to the left and you hit someone walking or riding their bike. So if you get comfortable not scanning the whole intersection, what I see over the last couple of years, a lot of people 15 to 25 are not really thorough anymore. You just want to do the minimum, get done. You just want to do the minimum. Okay, I passed the test. I missed 25. So I passed. Thank God. Or I graduated from high school. I only had a 2.0. So what? Or I got a job, but if you took your time and passed the test, you could start at level 5. You started at level 1. So if you get sloppy, you're going to be kind of sloppy the first 10 years of your life. If you really want to look at the big picture, like I'm looking at some of you right now, it's not really important to you. But that's okay, because I have a lot of kids in here for a makeup. And you're here for a reason, because you missed class. And I'm going to see some of you in December because you missed class. But I like this because it gives you a perspective of trying to be your best driver. And if you be your best driver, you won't get tickets, or you'll get less tickets, or you will be safe, or you won't back in over a car or a kid. But it really is depending on your mom and dad. If your mom and dad don't make time for you, then you're going to really be kind of left alone at your own devices. And A lot of beginning drivers drive very fast, very slow, very reckless. They don't check blind spots, and you're going to end up getting run off the road. So it really depends on how good do you want to be 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. It's really deep if you think about it. But a lot of you can only see the 1 year at a time, and that's fine. So I try to give you that foundation to be a good driver. Next one, 17. What does a pedestrian crossing sign, a pedestrian crossing sign is an example of what? They're asking you what type, is it a regulatory? Is it a warning? Is it an information, or is it a guide? If you don't know this, then you're probably going to run over someone or get a ticket. So you have, these are some things you have to know. You have to know the signs. And we're going to go over that pedestrian crossing 17. Put your answer in. It is B. And it's a warning sign. It's yellow and black. Jay, it's okay. You want me to recognize your needs, and then that's what I'll do. And I realize when you take the time to listen to me, I want to put you first for a priority. And then I want to answer your questions. And that's fine. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be attentive to you. And if you're taking time to listen, then I need to take the time to listen to you. So, Jay, it's okay. Let's keep going. What is the purpose of a yellow traffic light? If you don't know what this means by now, you're probably going to get hit. You're probably going to get a ticket. Eventually, you will get hit or will get a ticket, because eventually an officer is just going to be chilling, sitting there. That car just ran that light. I got nothing else to do. Let me pull them over. And then if you're acting all weird and nervous, and then you give them a smart attitude, you're going to get a ticket. They're going to look at you, license, registration, proof of insurance. Do you know what happened? Officer, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to slam my brakes. I ran the light. He might give you a warning. But if you come with an attitude, then you're going to get a ticket, and then they're going to pull you out of the car. And then if you swing your elbow, oh, you're trying to be aggressive. And then it's on their body cam. And then they're going to put you down on the ground. And then it looks like police brutality, but really, you're being aggressive to me. So it's really easy to get in trouble, but a lot of you don't realize this yet. So I'm just trying to help you stay out of trouble. Trouble is easy to get into, right? So you're dealing with that yellow light. Number 19, the purpose of that is B. It warns the driver that the light will be red soon. You need to make a decision. Am I going to go through this intersection? What if someone is walking? What if a truck pulled out? What if the police are there? Or are you going to slam brakes? If you slam brakes, a truck or car behind you will hit you. If you can stop safely in 3 seconds, 1001, 1002, 1003, you're good. So you will learn this as you go along. If your mom and dad are not that granular, like I am, as an instructor, then you're just going to say, then eventually you're going to kill someone or run a light or hit a car. And then that's your fault, because they still have their green light. Just letting you know. Because drivers, intersection is the most dangerous place. Number 20, at an intersection with a 4-way stop, who has the right of way? All of you will be confused at this. You don't know, because in driver's education, it's not really emphasized enough. Intersections, 4-way stops, right of ways are very important. Number 20, correct answer, put your answer in, is C, the driver who arrives first. But many of you will say, am I okay to go? And yes, in level 1, I will support you, but I won't be there. And if your mom and dad are with you, they're like, did your teacher even teach you? Do you even know this? And then you want to get an attitude, and they're going to be like, pull this car over. You see those new jeans that I got you, those new Jordans, you got your new tattoo? Bruh, sit in the back seat. And now you're crying. And then you won't be going out Friday with the car, and then you're saying, oh, I'm going to run away. So it's real life. A lot of you got a lot to learn. Some of your parents will just take your life, bro. They don't care, right? So now we're going over basic maneuvers. Okay, the next series is basic maneuvers. 21, when making a left turn at an intersection, you should A, type it in, always yield to oncoming traffic, but a lot of you won't do that. You'll turn right in front of a car. That's the most dangerous thing. And one reason why me as an instructor, I've never faced that consequence in getting hit. I don't let you do that. I hold the brake. And when it's clear, I'll let you hit the gas. Some of you will hit the brake. Some of you will overturn and go in the wrong lane. One of my drivers did that tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. We crossed the double yellow line. On your road test, that would have been an automatic failure. So you have to really take your time at those left turns. They're the most dangerous. 22, what is the proper sequence for putting the vehicle in motion? Put your answer in. The correct answer is C. You want to start the engine, shift the gear set, and release the park brake. If you don't understand that sequence, you won't be able to start the car. Some cars are a push to start. Some cars still have a key. Some cars, you have a fob that could be in your pocket or your backpack, or your key fob after maybe 6 months to a year, the battery dies. And then your car won't start. Then you're like, oh my God, mom, dad, do you have the, I don't know where it is. I think it's upstairs in the safe. Well, I'm stuck at school, or you're at a place you're not supposed to be. Then you get caught. So you shouldn't be where you're supposed to be. And you should change those batteries regularly. That's real life on that. Next, 23, to properly merge onto an expressway. You should. That's one of the biggest barriers to entry for a beginning driver. Correct answer, put your answer in for 23. The correct one is B, right? You got to match your speed, but beginning drivers go too slow. You almost get run off the road. As an instructor, I look in my mirror because the driver's seat car has your mirror, and then I have a mirror and a brake. If I see a semi truck coming, I'm just saying, press the gas. I'm praying you press the gas. Most of you do. Some of you freeze, and then I'm saying to myself, we're about to get ran over. And then I say to you, press the gas. Some of you other instructors will scream at you, cuss you out. Your mom and dad might say, press the gas. Every instructor's different. Christina.
I'm really struggling over here. Like,
it's okay, baby. Look, Christina, it's all good. Christina, it's okay to struggle.
I don't understand to put our answer in the chat if it's not lining up. So you'll think we'll have the wrong answer.
Christina, at the end of the day, I care about you. If your numbers are off, it's okay, Christina. You can't worry about it, Christina. I'm reading the question and I'm explaining it. So, Christina, what you're getting is the question and I'm going over it. So at least you're hearing it. But if you're worrying about the numbers lining up, I can't support you in that because the way it was put together.
I didn't want you to feel like I was putting out the right answer.
Christina, at the end of the day, I'm looking at the answers in front of me. And in the end, I'm going to copy and paste everything. So Christina, the one thing that I always do, I'll go over every single chat. I see who's here. I see who's playing. I see who's participating. So Christina, worry, but don't worry. But for the second time, I told you, don't worry. I asked you to put your answers in. Some kids are embarrassed when they put their answers in. But at the end of the day, because we're taking a class, put in your answer. And if you're wrong, then you're wrong. And if you're right, you're right. But if you're worrying about being right, then you're not really worrying about learning. So I support you. I want to keep it moving. Okay? So don't worry. That's a good example. I got driving improvement class. They are similar questions. Preach, man. And I'm going to go over this. So a lot of these young drivers don't even know. Real talk. Okay, let's keep going. So next. Okay, when parking uphill to a curb, a lot of people have questions on this. You're parking uphill. Your front wheels should be turned where? Where should your front wheels be turned? Okay, this is question 24. If you're out of order, it's okay. I'm still supporting you. Put your answer in. This is 24. You're parking uphill. Should you turn your wheels in to the curb, out to the curb? Don't turn them at all. Correct answer is C, turn them away from the curb, right? Because if your car slips out of gear, it's going to roll backwards. And if you turn them away from the curb, your car will do a complete 360. A lot of beginning drivers don't understand that. They can't visualize, well, what's my car going to do if my brakes fail? If my instructor's telling me to back up to the right, uh, which way do I turn my wheels? Because you don't know, and you have to learn that. Like learning how to walk on a tightrope, that's a very good question. You put one foot ahead of the other. Look ahead. Okay? So this is no trick. I'm just taking you through the sequence. And I think on Thursday, you're going to do very well on the assessment. I could be wrong. Maybe you guys didn't study. Maybe you guys are nervous, but I always have a sense of peace because I know I'm very thorough. So I believe in my concepts, and my test scores prove that. And when my students pass, the office knows this. What's going on? All right, let's keep it going. Next question. And going over this, what parking maneuver is considered the most difficult? What parking maneuver? We're talking about parking maneuvers now. What parking maneuver is considered the most difficult? Parking maneuvers, most difficult, Secretary of State. All of you should be able to tell me that. Which parking maneuver is most difficult? It is C, and that is parallel parking. That students have the most fear over that. You got to learn how to parallel park. It's extremely important. So we do stall parking, we do angle parking. You have to be able to parallel park. If you can't, you won't pass your state examination. It's really important. And if you don't practice, then you won't pass. So you do want to practice every time you get a chance. Hey, there are 2 cars by my house. Here's the space. Let me parallel park. Hey, there's 2 cars in space around the block. Practice this. And if you are nervous, go to an open parking lot, get 2 milk crates, get 2 cones, practice those maneuvers. At the school, we have cones set up. Practice those maneuvers. The instructor puts those out. Practice, practice, practice. People are going to laugh at me. You're going to be embarrassed when you don't pass that road test, and your parents are like, oh my God, this time I paid almost $275. I guess we're going to have to get private lessons. But you shouldn't have to come to that because you practice all the time. And that's really good. You want to focus on it. 26, what is the safest way to reverse your vehicle is to what? The safest way. This is 26. Put your answer down. If it doesn't line up, I'm still going to talk about it. What's the safest way to reverse your vehicle? It's B. Check your mirrors quickly. Look over your shoulder. Okay, your mirror, you're going to run over something. If you're going back to the right, you look over the right shoulder. You look over the left shoulder. You've got it, but I have a backup camera. You're still going to run into a car. Look over your shoulder. Check. Have that good view. 27. What is the correct hand positioning on the steering wheel when driving straight? You're going to get a lot of crazy answers. Remember, we're North America. There's certain organizations that set the safety mandates. If we're in Canada, the rules are different. If we're in Australia, the rules are different. If we're in the UK, the rules are different. We're in North America. So our particular rules for hand positioning, 27, please put your answer in. It is either 9 and 3 or 8 and 4. 9 and 3 or 8 and 4. But also depends on what has your instructor taught you. Some people have really long arms. I have really long arms. I'm 6'4". Okay, I weigh 280. Some of you are really short. It depends on your hand positioning. It is so important to understand your proper hand positioning. Next. When driving on a steep downhill, you're going downhill. Okay. 28. When driving on a steep downhill position, when driving on a steep downhill, what should you do? Put your answer in. Based on this, you want to shift to a lower gear and apply the brakes as needed. If you ride your brakes down, they're going to overheat. You won't shift. What does shifting down mean? If you're in drive, it could be 3, it could be 2, it could be. What does that mean? There are different gears in your transmission. If you downshift to a lower gear, you need to be able to use that to help you. Okay? So, because if you ride the brakes, they're going to overheat and then you won't be able to use them. 29, we're performing a 3-point turnaround. What is the first step to? This is 29. If it's out of order, I'm still going to support you. So you got to do a 3-point turnaround. The correct answer here is B. Signal your intention. If you're going to the left, turn on your left turn signal. If you're going to the right, turn on your right turn signal. People don't know what you're doing. Okay, signal your intention and move to the right side of the road so you have room to do that maneuver. I like that we're taking our time. My payoff is my students doing well on Thursday on the test. And if you don't, you didn't study properly. And there are always some kids who don't study properly and then they cry, they get frustrated, they kick the wall. But usually it's never me because I'm very thorough from day one. Next, number 30. When exiting a diagonal parking spot, if you don't know what a diagonal parking spot is, then you're going to struggle. These are driver's education terms. When exiting a diagonal parking spot, the first thing you should do is, please put your answer in. If not, I'll support you. Is B. You want to check your mirrors and blind spots for traffic. Diagonal parking spots are in school parking lots. Sometimes they're at malls. There are big areas where there's a lot of people parking because you go in one way, you go out the other way. There are arrows. You pull in, you back up, and you go out. You don't go the opposite way because it's more difficult for you to park and more difficult to turn. I always speak what I know. I don't speak what I don't know. A lot of people speak fake stuff, but I speak what I know. We got 8 minutes. You're still going to get value. Now we're talking about driving safely and road awareness. And for beginning drivers, your road awareness is low because you haven't been on the road enough. You don't know when you're in danger. And by the time you know, it could be too late. You could speed, hit a car, run over someone. 31, if you see an emergency vehicle approaching with lights and sirens on, you should what? It is B. You want to pull over to the side and stop. If you pull over and slam brakes, you're going to get rear-ended. Whenever you pull over to the side, you should always look in the rear mirror. But a lot of beginning drivers don't do that, and then you slam brakes and you get hit. You have to build that road awareness through your mom or dad taking you out, through your uncle or auntie, through your cousin. It really takes a village to raise a child. And I'm really connecting that to you. And you're probably learning it's a priority. And if you don't have a priority at home, then it's going to take you longer to learn how to drive. 32, what is the 3-second rule and why is it used? The 3-second rule. What is that? And if you don't know what the 3-second rule is by now, you're going to be struggling on your assessment on Thursday. No Quizzy right now, no Kahoot right now, no cheat code right now. Old school, listening and thinking. What is the 3-second rule and what is it used for? It is A, and it's there to determine your proper following distance. And if you follow too close, what beginning drivers do, you're going to rear end the car. And in some states, if you rear end someone, you're at fault. At our location, if you rear end someone, you're at fault. The one thing that I do as an instructor, I make sure you have additional room because some beginning drivers go too fast and they tailgate. some beginning drivers go too slow, and then we're going to get cut off. We drove last weekend going too slow, and guess what? A driver got irritated, passed on the left. They almost hit a car and almost hit us because you're going too slow. So if your instructor tells you to speed up, you need to listen. But a lot of you want to give your instructor attitude. You're approaching a railroad crossing with no warning signs, no warning signals. What should you do? Approaching a railroad crossing. This is number 33. Put in your letter. The correct one is B. You want to slow down and look left and right and listen. A lot of you won't do that. You got your little earbuds in. You're not really listening to the environment around you. I'm not against earbuds, but when you focus in driving, you're driving a 3,000, 4,000 pound instrument of death. And that's what you really need to know. It's very serious. So I take it serious, and you should too. But many of you won't because you're like, I just want to learn how to drive. 34, if your vehicle starts to skid, what is the first thing you should do? Put your letter in. The correct one is C. You want to take your foot off the accelerator. You're out of control. It doesn't say slam brakes. It doesn't say oversteer. For this particular question, you don't want to slam brakes. You don't want to steer in the opposite direction. You're going to roll your car. You don't want to shift to a higher gear because you won't slow the car down. So for these particular groups of questions, you got to pick the best one. Not necessarily the right one or the best one. And if you try to guess through this and skip around, I've seen that destroy kids too. Because this is a lot of pressure on you, but it's no pressure. Next, 35. When driving in fog, you should what? 35, you're driving in fog. What should you do? Put your letter in. If you don't have a letter, I'm going to support you. You want to use your low beam headlights and drive at a safe speed. If you turn off your lights, you don't have lights. You'll crash. If you drive faster, you're going to hit someone. If you use your high beam lights, the high beams will reflect the fog particles back into your face. So you got to apply which one is the best for this answer. 36. What should you do if your brakes fail while driving? Your brakes have failed. If you don't know what fail means, they don't work anymore. If you don't know what don't work means, they don't stop the vehicle anymore. Your brakes have failed. And that correct answer is A. You want to shift to a lower gear, got to slow the car down, or use your park brake. We're not drifting right now, right? But downshift to a lower gear, that's going to use the transmission and the engine torque to slow you down. I like taking my time. Whatever question we get through is what we get through. Yes, I realize this is an opportunity instead of a challenge. 37. When is it legal to pass on the right? When is it legal to pass on the right? Correct answer here, I ask you to type it in, is C. Both A and B, when you're on a one-way street with 2 or more lanes, that's there for that. A, when another vehicle is turning left. A lot of students miss this. 38, when driving through a construction zone, you should what? 38, driving through a construction zone. Put your answer in. It is B, obey posted signs and signals, watch for workers. It's typically going to be 45. In some cases, it could be 35. And because a construction worker got killed in our area a few weeks ago, the legislation is talking about putting speed cameras in construction zones. And you're automatically going to get a ticket because a lot of people disregard that. That's someone's life. Someone's mom or dad is there. They want to be able to come home too. So someone got hit and killed. 39, hydroplaning occurs when? Hydro is water. Plane means to lift. And if you don't know hydro and lift, lift, you're going to, what's this mean? 39, put your answer in, is A, the tires lose traction. So if you're late to school, you're going to speed in dry pavement. If it starts raining, you're going to keep speeding. And then once your tires can't disperse all the water, now you're going to slam into someone. So you got to really be aware of those environmental situations. Put your first, middle, and last name in and date of birth, please. Next time I see you, we'll be in person. I gave you a review. I thought it was solid. That's all I can do. I don't have to do this. I want to do it. Put your first, middle, and last name and date of birth. I'll be closing in a moment. We started right at 6:30. We're going to end. I need to close this up. So go ahead, put your information in, and I'll cut and paste everything into a Word document like I always do. That's my backup. I'll see you. All of you put your first, middle, and last name in. Go ahead and do that. I'm getting ready to close the chat. This is a very serious situation. And as you can tell, a lot of people just don't care. Now, I can talk to all of you on this session for a few more minutes. Then I have to go pick up a client because they need to go for a drive. And some of you said this review session is similar to a driver improvement. And I would say yes, but I'm driving a group of really, really young drivers who don't appreciate this. And if you don't appreciate something when it's gone, you will appreciate it. Kind of like your teacher in high school. You kind of messed around 9th to 10th grade year, your junior, senior year, you failed English 12, and then you got to repeat, or you won't graduate, or you didn't do your swim credit, and you have to repeat, or you didn't do your project your senior year in college, and you got a job lined up, but they need to see your diploma, but you have a bill. So it's just that personal responsibility deal that I always talk about. Now, a lot of you are starting to realize how passionate I am. And if you're not passionate about something, then it doesn't mean anything. This could be painting. This could be sewing. This could be learning how to drive. And if your mom or dad or your instructor is not patient enough to go through these things, you won't ever learn. And then you're going to keep repeating the same mistake over and over and over. And then you're going to end up crashing. And then you'll never really want to drive again. And everyone has a different situation. And you can say, well, my mom and dad didn't help me. I was in a bad accident. Or we can't afford a car. I get it. I understand. And I just want to support all of you who are taking the time to listen as I'm typing some information in. And I just want you to learn and then feel like, hey, someone cares. I do care because my greater calling is helping all of you. Yes, Jay, I know you're there. I just have to type something. And that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to open up. Then I'll put some questions in. I'm just doing like 3 things at one time. But you got to be able to multitask and help people. So that's what I'm doing. And you see me putting in work. So I ended one session. I'm going to go live on the other app and then put it in. So we can talk freely now for a few minutes. So Jay, this is for all of you. My dad was a double bilateral amputee. And I used to be ashamed to say that, but no shame anymore. He ended up having to get a hand control pulling into his car. I'm like, but he didn't let that stop him. One person, if you lose one leg, you're like, my life is destroyed. He lost both. So, Jay, you can figure it out. And again, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a professional in that area of cerebral palsy, but I guess I better, right? I guess I better. But as a young kid, seeing her dad like that, he still was my father, and I still respected him. He never felt sorry for himself. He always did make excuses. I'll see a lot of people who are able-bodied make excuses. Okay. So I have to go because I have some family responsibilities to do. Um, I will work on the Google number for all of you. We're going to be setting up this. I do have an LLC. We're going to set up a nonprofit, and then I'm going to try to obtain some funds. But Jay and all of you, I do appreciate you. I do have to go because this place closes at 9. I have to pick up the client. Jay, you're fine. I just want to show you I'm passionate. I'm going to help you. You take the time to come on and listen, to watch my lives, to watch my POVs. You care. And I know you're going to subscribe. You're deeper than a subscriber. We're going to set up, the whole thing. And then the whole thing is you becoming a channel member. And I really want to make this special for people who really want to learn how to drive, who have a physical disability, or who really want to know, well, can I drive? I'm 24. I live by myself. Um, there's no one to help me. What can you do? Well, where do you live? There are social service programs to help you become independent. Or my parents just died and my relatives live in a different state. I have a house, I have a car. I don't know what the first thing is to do. Um, Jay, you're helping me become a better person. You are. Um, and a lot of people say random comments on here, but at the end of the day, I know you care. And this is why we're here on this earth. If I help someone today, then I've done my job. Jay, I know you care. So we will end up talking and we will communicate. I just have to be careful on the online platform because there are a lot of random people who don't care. I will get that Google number, Jay. I've been busy. I haven't had a chance to yet. They will give me another number. It usually takes, I don't know, 24, 36 hours. But then I have to use this number a lot or it'll be taken away. I had it before. A few clients will call, but I wasn't using it a lot and it was taken. So, Jay, I appreciate you. We'll talk some more. Um, Bye, guys. Watch my videos.